like it's a bad deja vu.
No.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, that's actually cute.
Wait a second.
I'm so disappointed. I really do like reading.
Hello and welcome, you beautiful bookish people. Today is a good day. It is Fearless release day, and my plan is to go to Barnes and read all day after I pick up my own copy. I'm like in that stage where it's like I want to read it so bad because I've been waiting since July of last year for this book to come out, but it's also like I don't want it to end because this is the finale. I'm like that giddy excited. So I think it's time to go to Barnes & Noble and pick up my copy of Fearless. So let's go. I'm so excited. No, I'm so excited. I'm like shaking. This is so much bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Oh, I also impulse bought the Akasif edition for the Night Court edition, whatever. I don't think this is supposed to come out until April 28th because I had it in my calendar and then I saw there was a table of it, and so I grabbed one and it let me check out. I think I won today. I got the copy of Fearless. The book copy. I got the book. Are you so ready to read this? It's here. It's here. I have it in my hands. This is chunkier than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like 400 or 500 pages. Oh my god, it's 588 pages. I was not expecting that, but I'm here for it because I need all the extra chapters, the content, everything. I am gonna be tabbing, which is kind of funny because I did not for the other books. I did not start tabbing until recently, like highlighting and tabbing until recently, and I really want to for this, and I probably should have done a reread, but this I feel like is a trilogy that's like super easy to jump back into, so I'm not gonna be like, oh crap, who's this? Oh crap, where was that? Like, it's a pretty simple world to be back in. So I'm gonna tab this, and maybe in the future I can go back and tab Powerless and Reckless, but I'm gonna start reading. Kai. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot how good the banter is. Oh my god. The hair has gone up because I'm invested. Oh. I mean, I knew we were gonna get a new point of view, but I did not think, I mean, I guess, but it doesn't make sense. Huh? Back up. That's not gonna happen, right? This can't, hold on. We're about 30% of the way through right now, and there have been some good romance moments. However, I feel like this is lacking in plot, which I'm not gonna lie to you, Reckless was not my favorite. I loved it. I thought it was fun, and it was very much a time just for us to soak up Kai and Paedyn moments, and I wasn't sure where this book was gonna go, but now that it's kind of been revealed what the plot is gonna be for this book, and granted, like, I don't know everything that's gonna happen, right? It's just, hey, we're gonna do this from this point on, and this is how it's gonna go down. It kind of feels redundant, and I'm a little worried for the plot because it feels like it's gonna go nowhere. Like, that was your only option? I'm trying so hard not to be skeptical right now because I loved Powerless. I loved the first book. I can't remember what I rated it, but I think that was also at a time where I was rating everything like 5 stars, and I read it very soon into my reading journey. So So I think that was part of it, but I don't know if I'm just like burnt out of this certain trope, or I guess I don't even know what you call it. And we are getting some good Kai and Paedyn moments, quotes, everything. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bad deja vu. Like once you do it once, you can't do it again. And that's all that I'm gonna say because this is a spoiler-free reading vlog and it's gonna remain so. I had a theory about something and I think it's about to come true. So, back up. I didn't want it to be true because that makes this family tree really complicated. Hold on. Hold on! Okay, I took a quick break because my husband got home, so I had to eat, shower, kind of get ready for bed, aka throw on an oversized shirt and my same sweatshirt. But while I was explaining this to him and how I just wasn't sure about it, I think I came to the realization that once again, my expectations were a little bit off from what they should have been, because I have been reading a lot of fantasy books that have a romance subplot, but this is like romance first with plot on the side. And don't get me wrong, the romance is fantastic. I just think I'm missing a little bit of that, like, okay, I want stuff to actually happen in this book and a little bit more than just what's happening right now, because the last two books have been great fun. There's been a lot going on in the first book and not a lot during the second book, but this one I was like, okay, it's 588 pages. This is the finale. So like, to me, if it's a finale, it's gotta wow me. So I think I'm gonna sit down, regroup, and kind of like keep going with the, okay, I'm really only expecting romance at this point, which is fine. I love Kai. I love Paedyn. I love them together. And right now what they're having to experience is pretty tragic. So we're adjusting expectations moving forward. I think it is 9:45 p.m. right now. I have gotten almost 50% of the way through. I'm at page 230 and I have not been good at actually like sitting down to binge this all day. It's taken me a while to do that because I've been like super distracted, because by the time this video goes out, me and my husband will have moved to a new place. So I'm trying to figure out how to juggle finishing this book and moving my entire life in the same week. Today is Tuesday, obviously the 8th, and we move in on the 12th. So I need to like finish this as soon as possible so I can focus on that. And part of me wants to just try to pull an all-nighter to finish it tonight. And I think I'm gonna try, but it has been literally since middle school since I've pulled an all-nighter. And when I pulled an all-nighter in middle school, it was a lock-in at a trampoline park. So I had like things to do, and not that this isn't something to do, but obviously I'm sitting down relaxing while reading, so I might get tired. But that's what I have an Alani for. I'm begging this Alani to keep me up, because here's the problem. I feel like every time I've drank an Alani, it's made me calmer and focus more than like gave me energy. So maybe the focus is gonna kick in here. We'll see. I want to love this, so we're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna hope that the prediction that I made reading one of these chapters is not true and we're actually going in a different direction, because if I'm right, I'm gonna be disappointed. But we're going to hold out and not make any assumptions quite yet and continue fearless. Hey, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
So you want to hear something so funny? You know how I told you I was gonna stay up all night and finish Fearless? Yeah, that didn't happen. If you can't tell, I'm in a new space. Me and my husband moved over the weekend. So I paused reading for a couple days because I really wasn't vibing with the first half of the book, and I knew that I should be loving it, but I wasn't. And so amidst moving and trying to read a new release, I was like, this is just a cocktail for disaster. So I did not read for a full 5 days. I know, right? Who am I? There was a guy outside walking around that looked like Alex Warren. But anyways, I plan to continue today. I think I'm in the right headspace. I am waiting for my new bookshelves to arrive, and I want to get a reading chair and put it behind there. So hopefully soon I can do a complete like home library reorganizing video, and I do plan to do that, but we're gonna have to wait a little while longer for the reading chair. So maybe I'll just do a video organizing my bookshelves and show you everything that I have. Anyways, that's beside the point. I am still 292 pages in, in. I'm halfway through. I have heard from so many people that after the first half, like it gets better, like keep going. And here's the thing, I really hate that that's the case right now because I want to love this so much and this is a finale. Like I shouldn't have to feel like I have to get through the first half of the book for it to be good. The finale should be a bang, boom, pow, amazing part of the series. But I really want to chill today. We spent the last 2 days completely unpacking. I sound like death because I feel like death. My allergies have been so bad between all of like dust and allergies and all of that crap. But for now, I think we're gonna go downstairs and read because I'm just sitting in my office chair right now and this thing is very uncomfortable. We have to get into one of these too. It's fun to spin in though. It's just like oh, my books. Anyways, here's to hoping the book gets better. Wait a second. What? It's not though. This music is very anticlimactic. I'm listening to the Narnia soundtrack and this is not matching. Is that what the prologue meant? No, this has to do with the prologue. No, it totally has to do with the prologue. Okay, I'm fine. Am I just like so shut off from this right now? Why? No. Hey. Deep in the meadow, under the willow, a bed of grass, a soft green pillow. Does that sound familiar? Anybody? Uh-oh. Welcome to the final check-in before I finish this book. I have about 100 pages left, and I read a little bit last night, and I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people were like, oh, just wait till you get to this part. And I got to said part, but like I already guessed it was gonna happen. And I already guessed how it was gonna end up too. Like there was something like really, really big that happened. Like if you know, you know. But like I already knew that it wasn't because of the prologue. But also I guessed what was actually happening. This is so hard to explain without like telling you exactly what's going on. But point being, it's throwing me off because maybe I'm just becoming a more critical thinker as a reader. I don't know, because I'm not normally somebody that sits here and like is able to guess everything that happens. And like even in ACOTAR, I feel like there was a lot of things that it was just kind of obvious that were gonna happen, but I didn't guess. I mean, that's probably because that's the first thing I read after I got back into reading. But like, I don't know. I think I was just hoping for more. I think my expectations were really high because I loved the first book. Honestly, at this point in time, I feel like this trilogy could have been a duology. Like you could probably have cut out most of the second book and a lot of this third book. I don't think this needs to be almost 600 pages. Maybe my taste is changing. I'm so disappointed, but that's okay because we're gonna finish it and it's gonna be good. I do know that at the Barnes & Noble like midnight, I think it was a midnight release in New York or something, she said that there is going to be another novella, so not all of our questions are going to be answered after this. So that like makes me feel a little bit better. But anyways, I've been such a negative Nelly during this vlog, and if this is your first impression of me, I promise I'm not this negative. I really do like reading. I think what I need to do is finish the book, give it its rating, sit with my feelings for a minute, and then maybe in a couple months I need to reread the trilogy as a whole, because this is the first series that I've read as it's been released. So I think because it's been so spread out, that might be messing with me too. But anyways, I'm ready to finish this. I'm gonna be positive. Mark my words, I'm gonna be positive. But that reveal was so pointless. It doesn't matter because it's not like he had the information he was looking for anyways. I'm not having a good time. You're gonna go through with it. Oh, that just gave me the biggest ick. Oh, no. I'm not DNFing. I'm not. I'm gonna finish this. I'm not DNFing. I promise I'm not. Oh, wait, that's actually cute. So, that's it? That's all we get? Why? Oh. that's the conclusion? That's all that we get? Huh, I'm underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed. Okay, it's time for my final review. I have some notes. I'm honestly so disappointed. I'm so underwhelmed. And I really hate that I'm saying this because this was one of my most anticipated reads for the year. And I guess, you know, I was expecting so much since this is a very popular book release. And reading is so subjective, and I say that all the time, and I totally mean it because I know so many people that have read it already and they've loved it. They've been in tears, like I will never get over this. And I'm laughing at myself because I posted a TikTok yesterday with the trend that like, I almost forgot this is the whole point or whatever. But instead of that, I said I almost forgot. The whole point of reading is to finish a book instead of letting the book finish you. And it was of Fearless, and I hadn't finished it yet because I was so hopeful that it was gonna get better. But now I'm sitting here like crap. Drum roll please for my rating. Oh, y'all are gonna hate me for this one. I gave this 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars for a couple reasons actually. I have 8 bullet points, so let's get into this. I have some details. Okay, the number one reason I think I gave this a really low rating is because I felt like there were a lot of plot lines that were hinted to, trying to be built up, that were introduced in this story, but that kind of just fell flat, and in the end they didn't end up actually mattering to the whole story. And it was weird because like you get this big reveal of what the characters were actually doing this whole time, what the big bad actually was, the betrayal, the like all of that kind of stuff. And then at the end it's like, okay, well, it still doesn't matter because normally the protagonist is the one that goes after the big bad, goes after the antagonist, and actually like, you know, fixes the story. And she never got a chance to actually do that. Literally the whole closing of the storyline of resolving the issue was her just witnessing it happen, which I thought that was a little weird. Number 2, it just felt like a repeat of the first book. And again, this is spoiler free, so I'm not going to go into that, but if you've read it, you understand what I hope you understand what I'm saying. Number 3, it was very predictable. I have so many things in my Goodreads account that I like, oh, this is gonna happen, isn't it? Yep, okay, that happened. Oh, that's good. It was actually this person? Yep, okay, kind of called that. And I texted my book bestie, Natalie, which if you're not following her, what are you doing with your life? Go subscribe, follow her right now. I'll wait. I remember texting her this like whole paragraph of like, I'm bored, this is what I expect happens. My theory wasn't necessarily true. It was like on the right track, but like it was a little off. And that storyline, I think it upset me that it wasn't that storyline because it made one of the characters so pointless because it literally could have been anybody else, but it was that one character. Number 4, like I said in number 1, it kind of just felt like a lot of the storylines fell flat. There's no way to properly explain and expand the storyline that was introduced into this 3rd book without a whole nother set of characters, without a whole other story, because it was kind of just like there and gone. Like maybe we'll get a spin-off series, but then again, I'm like, I'm not even sure I'm gonna read that. But it was like, okay, then why did we go off and do that whole thing? Number 5, literally all of the plot twists and reveals of the first 2 books were kind of irrelevant. Number 6, the only reason this didn't get 1 star is because of Kai. I love Kai so much. I think the banter is great. I think the writing a little bit fell flat in this 3rd book for me. It felt very repetitive. It felt very forced of like trying to include certain words in there and certain parallels. Like I don't want to sit here like thinking every 2 pages that this is a parallel, because then like I said earlier, it's just a repeat. And Number 7, I do, and again, this is a reason why I didn't get 1 star. I've said this before about a couple fantasy books, but it's hard for fantasy to actually get to a good stopping point. Like a lot of the times you're kind of just like, okay, this is the end, whatever, and you're not fed like what happens in the years to come, where they are, what they're doing. But no, we have Paedyn, Kit, and Kai's ending. We know what they're doing. We know how everything ended up for them. It's nice because I'm like, okay, now I can finally like lay that to rest. Was I invested? No, but at least I have answers, which is kind of why I didn't DNF the book. And number 8 kind of goes back to the whole politics thing and building on storylines. I feel like since the action part of the book fell flat for me, that I was kind of leaning on the political intrigue, like the court intrigue aspect, which I guess should have been the forefront of the story, because this is romance with some fantasy in it. This is not fantasy with a romance subplot whatsoever. And so because it wasn't heavy fantasy, I was like, okay, well, the romance that requires it to be a very character-driven story that requires us to go behind the scenes on everything. We kind of got that. There was a chapter where it was all just like info dumped. And I was like, but okay, but with the introduction of a new POV in this book, we already knew this. Like, we've already had these conversations. I just didn't understand why it had to be repeated. And those are my final thoughts. I think what I honestly need to do, like I said earlier, is I need to wait a couple months and just reread the trilogy as a whole, like all together. Because I was talking to my husband earlier, I was like, I'm so confused why this fell so flat for me, which I understand in the midst of moving and everything, that is super anxiety inducing, and like there's a lot of emotions that I'm trying to personally work through right now. But reading is my escape. Reading is what I do when I need to regulate, or when I need to, I guess, feel something, or when I need to escape this world. That's what I go and do. And this was not doing it for me. And this one, I'm like, okay, I could live if I never opened you again. But that's it for this vlog. I'm so sorry that this might be disappointing. You've probably already clicked off the video, but if you haven't, if you've made it all the way, comment some crown emojis in the comments. I think that kind of fits. And I will see you next time. Hopefully it's better next time. I'm so sorry.